Hello everyone, my name is Scott and I am going to be helping Shadow at Cathedral Minis out with some small terrain building videos and tips that I've ran into while I've been making terrain for wargaming for the last probably 25 years. Basically what I do is I will take a piece of 1/4 inch hardboard like this, cut it to whatever shape and dimension I want, and then I put a spray painting coat of the color of your choice or my choice. For this instance, I'm going to use forest, so I'm going to use green. Spray both sides to make sure I can seal everything. Pretty much any base will work. I have also found that the typical paneling you can pick up from some of the excess hardware stores, or if someone is doing a demo and they're ripping paneling out, pieces of the 1/8 to 1/4 inch paneling works wonderful. You can cut it out and it shouldn't cost you very much, if anything at all, if they're just throwing it out. So once I have everything painted and primed, I will lay down a layer of PVA glue to spread it out so it will simulate the dirt and debris that are on the forest floor. I have found that the sand you can pick up at the Dollar Tree works very well because it's quite fine, as you can see. You can also use regular playground sand, but I found that some of that is quite coarse and sometimes you'll have to go over it a time or two before you can get a good coverage. So once I get everything painted and the sand applied, I will show you what the results look like. Once everything is tapped off, just set it aside to let it dry. Then once it's all dry, you can go back over the areas that you want to treat as dirt or sand with a brown acrylic paint. I like using apple barrel paint. It's found at pretty much every Walmart and other hobby store like Michael's or Joann Fabrics. It is very cheap. I think you can pick it up for around 50 to 75 cents a bottle, and it covers quite well. So if you need to water it down, just a couple drops of water onto the water palette. It helps smooth things around. So once this is dry, I will come back and I will show you what it looks like after it's been painted. There, now that I have all of them coated with sand and PVA glue, I'm just going to let them sit outside to dry. Usually a good 24 hours or at least a minimum of overnight to make sure the glue sets nice and solid is usually a best idea. Another thing that I just happened to remind myself of while I was doing this, I want to note, if you're going to make these bases, do not make them out of foam board or cardboard. If you're going to put any paint on them or the glue, there is a very good chance that it will cause the foam board or the cardboard to start to curl and warp. And then, honestly, it's going to look like your tree bases and the forest bases are curling up from the tabletop. So using hardboard or something similar like old paneling and such would be the best options. Okay, so now that the glue and sand has dried, I've ran through and painted them. I used dark umber or burnt umber from Apple Barrel on the dark ones, and just regular brown from Apple Barrel on these lighter ones. One thing you do have to remember is if you water down the paint a little too much, it will actually start to bleed through on the lighter colors, but the darker colors actually holds up fairly well. While you're going through everything, I would recommend brushing it in a couple different directions to make sure that the paint gets down in between the individual grains of sand on the boards. This will help lock everything into place once the paint dries. Once everything is done, you can just dry brush the browns with a little lighter color, and it will pop up the edges of the grains of sand. When that is all done, you can take the areas that are green, put some more PVA glue on them, and then dust it with your whatever color of flock that you would like to use. Morning, everyone. Just wanted to show you what the finished forest bases look like after putting a layer of flock on for the green areas, and after putting a layer of clear coat sealer on them to make sure that the flock doesn't get removed or broke off, and to protect the dirt patch areas from getting chipped as well. If you have any questions, feel free to let us know on the channel, and I will try to answer the questions as soon as I possibly can. Thanks. Bye.